Samba de Amigo!
Samba de Amigo!
Samba de Amigo!
Samba de Amigo! Samba de Amigo! What? So this game kind of released without me noticing. And I said, no, not this time, because I've always been a big fan of Sega games, but I've somehow never played Samba de Amigo. I know what you're thinking, and no, it's not true. I am Sega fan number one. I kiss my Dreamcast before I go to bed each night. I've got my Model 1 Genesis with the Sega CD Model 1 attachment. I even have this lovely Sega Light, which my wife makes me keep in the closet. But somehow I have never played Samba de Amigo, so let's fix that. With Samba de Amigo, Party Central. Okay, let's jump in. We were excited for this one. I went to go pick up this game with my daughter.
Samba de Amigo!
And we couldn't wait to get started. Ideally, you'll be playing with your Joy-Cons. However, you can play with the Switch Pro controller, or if you have a Switch Lite, you can play with that. But, like, why? Why would you do that? This is a dancing game. You're supposed to be moving around. Why would you be using a controller? Either way, you get the Joy-Con aligned upright, and you're ready to play.
Samba de Amigo! Party Central!
I have to say, at first, I was pretty impressed with the way the controllers seemed to notice my movements. I could shake high, I could shake low, to the side, and it seemed to actually pick up on those things. That's pretty cool. I thought, hey, these Switch Joy-Cons have some really cool motion features. Then my son played, and he has a unique way of playing. He kind of just threw himself around, and he did pretty good. He did pretty well. So, I'm not sure if putting a lot of effort in is really worth it, but either way, I was having fun. The issue I had with using Joy-Cons was it just doesn't really feel like you're holding maracas. You're just holding these little controllers, and it really does feel like that. It's cool they have the vibration feature where it feels like little beams bouncing around inside, but it just doesn't feel like maracas. When the Dreamcast version of the game came out, I vividly remember how cool those maraca controllers look. It's a shame that we don't have that, but either way, it still works pretty well. So those are some nitpick issues I had. The game actually has a pretty impressive playlist, quite a few songs on it. A lot of pop songs, electronic songs. They have a good selection, some classic songs from the previous games. There are also a lot of DLC tracks that you can buy, if that's your thing. There are some interesting ones. I bought the Persona 5 soundtrack because I'm a big sucker for Persona. There's Sonic the Hedgehog pack. Some others I can't really remember because kind of forgettable, honestly. I'd love to see more tracks as DLC in the future, but I'm really not holding my breath there. I kind of assuming they're done with this game, but it would be really cool to see. There's a good amount of content that does come with the game. You have your regular song modes you can go through, ranked play. You have sort of a fun multiplayer online mode, which is sort of like a battle royale dance-off, where you have a bunch of different players come in, you all dance together, and it slowly eliminates people as you go. I really like that mode. That has a lot of replay value to it. And there's also a streamy mode, which is like sort of like you're playing online, like on a Twitch-type platform, and people get to watch you, not real people, but the NPCs or whatever in the game, all cheer on for you and let you know how you're doing, which is kind of fun, very gimmicky, but more content, so I appreciate that. You also earn money as you go, so you can customize your Amigo and customize other elements of the game, like the maracas have different sounds to them. Like if you want to shake it instead of beans, you can make it meow every time if you want to go insane. Customizing the Amigo was something that my kids especially had a lot of fun doing. My daughter made sure my Amigo looked top-notch for online dances. With a game like this, you're probably going to be spending most of your time in local multiplayer. This is where a game like this really shines. Getting to play with friends is a blast. Dancing together, it's a very silly good time. There are a few modes to choose from that change the core gameplay a little, but these are mostly short distractions that you most likely won't come back to too often. The stream battle mode was kind of fun since the loser has to do some sort of challenge, and you can make them continue to do that until you're satisfied with their performance. I enjoyed that, probably for all the wrong reasons.
Like a dog, you have to work. It's not a very good bark, I'm not satisfied.
But just playing the regular rhythm game against each other is probably all you need. So the game is a ton of fun to play on the Switch. However, there are two other versions of the game that we need to talk about. two other ports. So there's the Apple Arcade version, which is Party to Go. Then there's also the VR version on Meta Quest, which is Virtual Party. So we have Party Central on the Switch, Party to Go on the Apple Arcade, and Virtual Party on Meta Quest. 3 different games with different features. So Samba de Amigo Party to Go on the Apple Arcade actually has a couple exclusive tracks, which, fine, okay, Apple can have the exclusive tracks, but they also have an exclusive story mode, which isn't available on the Switch version of the game or the Meta version of the game, exclusive to Apple. So on a version of the game where you're basically touching the screen instead of dancing, you get a full-fledged story mode. What the fuck, Cook? Why would you do this to me? I just don't understand why the Switch version of the game wouldn't get a story mode. Like, Sega, are you still mad at Nintendo? The 90s were a long time ago. Why are you doing this? A story mode just seems so cool. I looked at some of the cutscenes online, and it seems dope. I would love to play this. But I'll be damned if I'm buying an iPhone just to play Samba de Amigo on a touchscreen. However, a lot of people seem to really like this version of the game. I'm unable to review it because I'm just not an Apple guy. I don't have any Apple stuff. But people do like it, so check it out, and you get to enjoy this story mode that I did not. So let's talk about Virtual Party, because I really want to talk about Virtual Party. Samba de Amigo Virtual Party is the VR port of the game. Fun fact about myself, I'm kind of obsessed with VR. Like really obsessed with VR. So when I found out that Samba de Amigo was coming out for VR, I got it immediately on Quest 3. And as far as I can tell, this game is everything. It has everything that the other game has. Except for story mode, Tim Cook, you honk. But the VR port also gets an exclusive mixed reality mode, which is a lot of fun. Yeah, it's kind of gimmicky, but I mean, this is VR. The entire platform is gimmicky, and I'm all about it. There's a sort of mini-story you can play through where you save each of the universes in mixed reality, and while this is a lot of fun, it's a pretty short experience that you'll only get to do a few times. The gameplay translates so well to VR, being able to physically hold the maracas, seeing the notes they come at me and hitting them. Everything just feels so much more precise, which I didn't really get in the Nintendo version. Sometimes it felt a little random as I'm moving around, but with this, it's very precise. Where I see where I'm hitting those notes, and that also means that it's very demanding. So this is like a big exercise game. I'm a big fan of active games in VR. Beat Saber is something I've played for quite some time for exercise, but Samba de Amigo is now my new exercise game. The game has its flaws, and I do wish they'd release more music packs for it, but for my first Samba de Amigo game, I'm having a great time. The kids definitely seem to enjoy this one a lot more than I do, but anytime I play, I always have a smile on my face. This game kind of reminds me of how people say that if you're having a bad day, just laugh until you feel better. Well, this game is kind of like that, but without looking like an insane person. No matter how bad of a day I've had, when I'm dancing with my amigo, my problems are forgotten, and I'm just having fun with the people important to me. When a video game's able to do that, I'm often a big fan, and I'll frequently return to it to keep those good vibes going. Overall, I give Samba de Amigo on the Switch a 7 out of 10. The Virtual Party version of the game in VR, I give that a 9 out of 10 though. Playing it in VR was definitely a much better experience for me. Still great in both platforms though. However, the Party to Go version, Apple Arcade, I'd give that a solid Tim Cook out of 10. The Switch game is good, but the lack of like a story mode and more content like that just kind of leaves me wanting more. However, the game is $30, so I feel like you're getting good value for your dollar there, and I've seen the game go on sale pretty cheaply quite often. The VR version of the game, though, it just blew me away. I mean, yeah, it doesn't have local multiplayer, but with mixed reality mode added in and getting to really experience being there with Samba de Amigo, I was dancing with Sonic the Hedgehog, like physically dancing with Sonic the Hedgehog. How can you not get that a 9 out of 10? Thank you so much for watching my review. I really appreciate it. I will be posting more video game type content to this channel, some gameplay with my wife, more reviews, some Let's Plays maybe. We'll see where we go, but I'd love for you to subscribe if you are into that kind of thing. If you're not into that kind of thing, I don't know how you got here. I don't know how you made it this far. I'm sorry. better luck next time, I guess. But otherwise, thanks for watching. See you next time.